All right, good morning all. This is Dr. Umar Amin Mohammed speaking from the Department of Biology and Federal University of Health Sciences. Actually a visiting lecturer from Bauchi State University, Gado. In today's class, we are going to talk about the history of microbiology. Now, unlike science fields like physics and mathematics that can be dated back to a lot of years, basically the ancient times, the knowledge of these tiny living organisms, these tiny living things, their biology and how they affect lives have been around just recently, basically in the 19th century, which is the 1800s. Microbiology has had a long, rich history, initially centered in the causes of infectious disease. But now, because we have a lot of areas that are developing, vaccines, developing anti bacteria, anti microorganisms, and of course even additive to food. So the practical application of it in science have keep revolving and increasing. Many individuals have made significant contribution to the development of microbiology, and these individuals basically were studied by historians, and there are a lot of information that was off and on. And of course, the first person to observe microorganisms was and made key contribution was Robert Hooke, right? And he is reputed to have observed strands of fungi among the specimens of cells he viewed. Now, if you remember, we talked about Robert Hooke in our first class in the first semester. It is not clear who invented the first microscope, but scientists believe that a Dutch spectacle maker, where a Dutch is someone that is from Holland, and a spectacle maker is someone that makes glasses, named Zacharias Janssen in 1585, was basically credited to be the first, probably the first, to make the Alias compound microscope, right? And of course, one that has two lenses. Now, the Alias microscope will magnify an object up to 20 to 30 times its normal size. Now, this is a picture of how a microscope looks like, and which was designed by Christopher Koch of the Covent Garden in London. And this is exactly the microscope that Robert Hooke used in 1600s. In the 1670s, the decade after, a Dutch amateur biologist named Anton van Leeuwenhoek in the 1670s made key observations, right? And of course, this observation and careful observation he did, he gave this particular term to microorganisms as animal cues, which is little animals. He was a Dutch line merchant. Basically, he works on the ships, right? But he spent much of his time, spare time, constructing simple microscope composed of double concave lenses held between two silver plates. He constructed about 250 small, powerful microscopes that could magnify around 50 to 300 times. Until his death in the 1723, Van Leeuwenhoek revealed the microscope world to the scientists. Because before his construction of these small microscopes, scientists were having it difficult to view organisms and make discoveries, right? But because of his contribution, a lot of scientists tend to study microorganisms more, which is why he is considered to be the father of microbiology, because he made key and accurate description of protozoa, fungi, and bacteria. Now, this is exactly the image of the microscope Leeuwenhoek used, right? And then comes the issue of spontaneous generation. Now, spontaneous generation is basically the theory that says that living organisms can come from organic matter, like when you have a meat broth or you have a meat, and when you leave it, it will generate into smaller microorganisms like maggot and what have you. But a lot of scientists discredited this particular postulation, and one of them is Francisco Redi, who showed that fly maggots do not arise from decaying meat, as others believe. And of course, he said when you prevent the fly from entering, then they can't uh, metamorphose into maggots. And an English cleric named John Needham also advanced the spontaneous generation theory, but another scientist, Lazzaro Spallanzini, disputed the theory by showing that broiled butt will not give rise to microforms. So basically, this is the end of this class. Cheers. See you soon.